Alright, I bring you greetings. Trust you are doing well. Okay, the chart before me is BTC. You can see for the past, let's say from past week, like last week, or early this week rather, BTC has currently showing us signs of selling, but it's still just, you know, struggling between a particular place, like kind of wanting to give us range. But again, on the long run, it's more like going to break downward. So our previous highest height on BTC was about 111,007 point something dollars. So if you can see, like I already drew here on my chart, this is our trend line. Okay, this previously this was the height. The previous height that was the highest height that was made was at this level, which is about 111,000, and it hit there for some time and started falling gradually. Okay, so but presently now it is failing to break this level. It's actually failing to break this level. So if you can see very clearly on this boxed part, it's failing to break below this level. So we can see a lot of liquidity taking place, that has taken place here, and I wouldn't want people to start rushing to sell this trade, because I have spotted at some liquidity sweep. Okay, like in this very particular place here was liquidity. This rejection candle we're seeing inside this box was liquidity, and when the market came back to this level, it swept it down, giving us this last rejection before you push up. So I can tell you for free that this market is still struggling its way to sell. That being said, if you take your trend line and you put at this T, then to this point you see that okay, we already had our 3 touches. So this trend line is significant, because here we had our first touch here, already had our first touch here, this is our second touch, and the third touch actually moved the sellers into the market, making them to be dominant for some time. Because at this level you can see we have our bearish candle here. You can see that this is a bearish candle, and after the retest of the bearish candle, then they moved down a bit, so about 300 pips plus. Okay, so with what is happening, this liquidity level here, this is where whenever market comes to this level, you see buyers always want to push up again. So with what is currently happening in this market, I'm telling you that BTC is about coming back to this level. So don't be in a hurry to start selling BTC, because it will retest back to this level. When it gets to this level, then you can look for entering positions about this level of 106,786. About this level, trust BTC to come back to this box anyways. Okay, either inside the box or below the box, but BTC will definitely have its way up here. So this is what we think, or I for the person I'm thinking that will happen in this BTC market. So don't be in a hurry if you want to. This is actually a nice sector for selling, yeah, okay, but because it is still struggling about this level, because there's a lot of SPY liquidity here, it will push up here. Then if it fails to break above this box, then you should now start looking for a sell position, because that's been said. You see, we already had this resistance here, okay, and we've seen that the previous market was above this box. Now if you come to this level too, you can see at the last time it came to this level, it could not break it, so giving us what? A very clear M formation. Don't forget, we would always say that whenever a market is about to change direction, it does that with what? With candle patterns. It does that with candle patterns. So I like doing this because it helps people to understand the market more. You want to see the structures. When you see the structures, then you will understand. It will help you to understand the market. So whenever you look at your chart, you should be able to identify, the market. Now when BTC moved down a little about this level, and so and break above that structure, so already this level has been altered. Okay, and virtually this level has been altered, so we're expecting BTC to sell, but don't be in a hurry to start selling. Don't be in a hurry to start selling. So this is another M. What you're seeing now is an M shape. I will make it very clear. So this is already another very good M shape. So it is already selling down, and expect it to retest back here. If I don't do this, some persons will not understand. So we're expecting it to retest back to the box. We're expecting it to retest back to the box. This is what we actually think will happen in the market. So while we wait for those moves, just be patient. So I will delete this part of the previous M. Okay, I'll be deleting all this part and leave this part alone. But I think the essence of drawing these things, this market candle patterns, is just for you to understand better how those things work. That whenever market is about to change direction, it actually does that with a very clear pattern. Okay, so having said that, let me now delete this part. So this was to make it clear that this market has likelihoods to change their flow any moment soon. So let us wait for a little move upward to this boxed level of about 106,007 plus before we look for a valid sell on BTC. Alright, so don't forget to hit the subscribe buttons and also drop your comments, because this will help us to know if we're actually impacting and if our teachings is really informative.